Alright then guys, welcome back to the workshop. Now this isn't going to be a build video or a tool review, it's a quick update video. I want to talk about some things I want to do in the workshop in the future, new tools, and I also want to give a shout out to a couple of channels that I've been enjoying recently that I think deserve a mention. So if talking videos aren't your cup of tea, I totally get it. Feel free to skip this one, but if you are interested in upcoming projects and new tools, then stick around. So before I start today's video, I just wanted to take the opportunity to say if it's your first time here and you like woodworking, tool reviews and all that sort of stuff, then please consider subscribing, and if you tap the little bell icon, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Right, so the first thing I want to talk about is workshop machinery. Now, as most of you know, I actually use a DeWalt 7491 job site table saw in the workshop. Since starting YouTube, I've actually had two different benches built around the saw, and I've also had the saw separate with a separate elk feed table. And don't get me wrong, the saw is an absolutely fantastic bit of kit, and it is possible to get really accurate cuts from a job site table saw as long as you spend the time to actually set it up correctly in the first place. So there are quite a few features that I like about this saw. One thing is the rack and pinion fence. Now, that is an absolutely brilliant feature. It's easily adjustable. It locks at the front and the rear of the saw and gives you the opportunity to make repeatable, accurate cuts. So that's one of the things I like. Second good feature is the fact that it's got onboard storage for all the accessories, including the fence, which just clips underneath the saw when you're transporting it around. So that's another good feature. At least you're not going to lose anything as you move the saw from place to place. Dust extraction isn't great, but at the same time it's not bad. I've only ever used mine with an old pneumatic Henry vacuum, and it does a reasonable job of collecting a lot of the dust. Not perfect, but when it's hooked up to this, it performs a lot better. So for me, the saw does have a couple of downsides to it. The first one being the noise levels. Now, this is an extremely loud saw, and if you've got one of these, you know what I mean by that. You've definitely got to have ear protection on, and the problem with it being so loud, if like me you're in a residential area, you obviously don't want to be annoying your neighbours constantly using loud machinery. So that's another thing to take note of. So the last thing I don't like about the saw is the fact there's no soft start. When you press the on button, you get a quite harsh jolt as it fires it up. And that's another thing I've never really liked about the saw. So with all that being said, I've decided to upgrade my table saw. Now, I'm not going to disclose in this video what model I've gone for or the reasons behind it. That's for a future video. What I will say is it should be a lot quieter than the one I've got. The dust extraction should be a lot better and more efficient. And it's slightly bigger than my current saw. It's also a standalone saw, which does mean I'm going to have to alter the workbench that my old one is currently sitting in, which is a little bit annoying because when I built this, I didn't think I'd be changing it anytime soon, but in typical Dave style, I've decided to change my mind again. So yeah, that's just more things that need doing in the workshop. So that is all I'm going to say about the saw right now. You will probably have to wait a while until I show you what model I've actually gone for, mainly because I'm still trying to get the funds together to get the remaining items that go with the saw, and I can't set it up until everything is here and in place. If I'm honest, I probably shouldn't have even spent the money on this, what with everything that's going on in my personal life right now, but decided to spend a little bit of the affiliate money and YouTube ad revenue that I've made and saved. And I suppose you can say it's an investment in the channel moving forward. So I'm trying not to beat myself up too much about spending the amount of money that I have on myself, but I'm sure it'll all be worth it in the end. So now let's talk quickly about things that I want to do in the workshop, build wise. First thing I'm obviously going to have to do is build a new workbench stroke assembly table stroke outfeed table for the new table saw. And I also want to build either a mobile base or static bench to go on the end of my miter station over here where my bandsaw is currently sat, and I want to put like the disc sander and that on that bench as well. Not sure whether I'm going to have it mobile yet or just leave it as a static bench. That's to be decided, and that's also going to have to wait until I've got the funds to do it. So now on to recommended viewing. I've got two channels I want to mention. One is woodworking related and the other one is completely different. So the first channel I want to mention is called the Valhalla Studios. I think I've said that right. It's a relatively new woodworking channel that currently has about 50 subscribers. So if you're like me, you enjoy watching smaller channels to see how they grow and adapt to the world of YouTube, then definitely go and check his channel out. Tell him I sent you. Now the next channel I want to mention doesn't really need any shout outs from anybody. They've gone from 0 subscribers right up to about 160, 170,000 in less than 2 years. So they're already doing really, really well. It's a company based out in Wisconsin in the USA, run by a guy named Ryan. The channel is called Victory Outdoor Services, and they're a concrete crew. They go around doing people's driveways, stamped patios. The videos are edited in such a way they're really, really enjoyable to watch. I really enjoy watching his content. You get to see how they set up for a job. You get to see the pour itself. And the best part about their videos is the camaraderie between Ryan and his crew. So if you've not seen them, definitely go and watch a few of their videos, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So that's going to wrap that one up, guys. I want to apologise for the lack of build videos on the channel recently, but I'm sure most of you know what's going on. As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay safe and you'll see me in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys.